Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. It is Monday, April the 18th, 2022, and I am here with my partner in crime for the baseball day today, which is going to be a good one if we could dodge some weather. We're here to talk about everything from pitchers, prize picks, choices, BVP selections, stacks, HR call. It's better known as our MLB top plays, fades, and prize picks plays. And it is, he's adjusting, he's moving himself up the ratings as we speak. It's Josh Crash Davis. How are you on this bright, sunny Monday where I am right now?
Yeah, good morning. Doing well. It's a little cool here, actually. It's a little cooler than you might expect for Easter, but I know you were getting snow the other day, so you can relate to that.
Yeah, no question about that. I need spring and I need it fast, especially when I see those Texas temperatures in the 80s. I'm like, okay. No doubt.
World in PA, huh?
Yeah, for sure. So how's the landscape looking here for baseball today? I know we had some early weather issues that look like they're going to mess up the slate a little bit, but what's it looking like?
Yeah, we got a 9-game on the main slate, and there's another game earlier today. But I think a couple of those games, maybe one, will get rained out, postponed. I think the other one or two will play. So I think we're going to be all right. But it's a 9-game main slate that starts at 7:05 Eastern. And Washington and the Mets are the ones that we're going to have to keep an eye on the main slate for weather.
Okay. And if you're familiar with us here at DFS Coach Talk, you listen every day. We really appreciate that. If you're new to us, we do this baseball pod every day. Get into all of these areas that help you build a good core for your lineup. You can finish it out, just right from the podcast. If you want more information, including following that weather very closely, any lineup or pitching changes that are announced, we do that in our Discord 24/7. And you can join us by going to dfscoachtalk.com. You can sign up for as little as a 3-day for $10. Try us out. We have the best community in the industry, no doubt about it. And also, this podcast today is presented by Prize Picks. And we have a great deal with Prize Picks as well. You go to prizepicks.com, sign up with the promo code CoachTalk, all one word, no space. And if it's your first deposit, they will match you dollar for dollar all the way up to $100. So you cannot beat that deal at all. All right, we're going to dive right in, getting after it today with the pitchers. What do you think?
I've got two that I really like. First of all, I'm going to have to start with, and I'm going to have to eat a little bit of crow. I've got Clayton Kershaw.
What?
On FanDuel. He's 10-3 on DK. I called him my fade last week. He had an unbelievable 7 shutout innings, a perfect game while he was pitching with 13 strikeouts. It's a rematch of the National League Championship Series last year, and I'd be shocked if he put up numbers like that against the Braves. But I do think that he's the top option for cash games, as I expect him to be the highest owned pitcher tonight.
Well, I'm proud of you for turning the page there. Between the two of us that day, we had him retired on a beach somewhere in Cancun.
Boy, did he sure he sure showed us wrong. That's for sure.
He really did. He looked sharp as a tack. There's no doubt. Well, that's I didn't expect that, but I'm glad. It's funny in DFS, you can do two things. You can overreact and dive on a guy, chase points, or you can just get so mad and, like, I'm not playing this guy. No, he's going to screw up at some point.
Right.
But it's good. That's the great part about daily fantasy. You got to let that all go. You got to look at the slate for what it is, the pricing, the matchups, etc. And, this time you landed on Kershaw. And I think that it's a smart play because you don't want, if he's going to be highly owned and he does smash again, you can't catch up.
Right.
You just can't. Pitching is too important in MLB DFS. There's no question about it.
So my other top option tonight is going to be Sean Manaya. He's 9,700 on FanDuel, 9,100 on DK, going up against Cincinnati. He was solid in this matchup he had with San Francisco, which is a pretty tough matchup. He pitched 6 innings, only allowed 2 runs, and struck out 6.
Nice.
His second start, he had a much easier matchup at Arizona. He had 7 shutout innings and 7 strikeouts. So I think we'll have another strong performance here. Going up against the Reds, who have struggled, with the losses of Castellanos and Jesse Winker and Eugenio Suarez. They've really struggled to score runs. So I do like Sean Manaya here at home against the Reds. So he's probably going to be him and Kershaw. It's going to be pretty even, my ownership on both of those guys. So
yeah. Well, if it helps any, my pitcher of the day is Sean Manaya too.
Okay.
So I love him in Oakland. Nice, cool temperatures. Going against that just devastated Reds lineup, I think it's a great play as well. So outstanding.
And then my value play, we're going to have to see if they even play the game, but it's going to be Josiah Gray going against the Arizona Diamondbacks, which, I feel like we pick on them every day. But it's hard not to, the way that they're playing. They got shut out again yesterday. And so if that game plays, he's 7,800 on FanDuel, 7,900 on DK. You're going to have a little bit of a cheaper pitcher if you're going to pair him up with Kershaw. So that's kind of my thinking there. Unless you just want to play all value bats. That is an option. But Josiah Gray would be my value pitcher if that game plays. And if it doesn't play, I also like Frankie Montas going up against the Baltimore Orioles, who strike out the most this year. They struck out 12 times yesterday against Nestor Cortez. So I do like Montas as well.
You see Cortez with the immaculate inning?
Yeah, that was insane.
That was unbelievable.
He was just out there playing MLB The Show, I think.
You don't see that. 9 pitches, 3 strikeouts. What the heck?
Yeah.
Craziness. Baltimore has not been good forever. That's definitely the problem.
I know. Definitely. My fade pitcher he's probably not going to be that highly owned, but it's Michael Lorenzen. He's 8,200 on FanDuel, 7,100 on DK. He pitched 6 innings, only allowed 1 run, and struck out 7 against Miami last week. But now he has to go to Houston and face the Astros at home in their home opener. I just don't like the sound of that. The Astros have struck out the 4th fewest times this year and had the 2nd fewest strikeouts last year. So, like I said, I don't know what his ownership's going to be, but he's definitely a pitcher that I'm not going to be playing tonight.
Yeah. Well, it's easy when you know which pitches are coming because you're hitting the garbage can. No, I'm just kidding. Old wounds for those poor Houston fans who have had to listen to all that cheating forever.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent. All right. Let's move on to dive right into our sponsors' selections here. The Prize Picks plays of the day. I even have one for you today too. Yes. So what do you got?
I've got Frankie Montas over 6 strikeouts. He had 6 strikeouts in his first 2 starts this year. And those are both on the road against Philadelphia and Tampa Bay, who are tied for the 6th fewest strikeouts. Now he gets to go home against that Baltimore team that we talked about that struck out 12 times to Cortez yesterday. I just really like this matchup for him. I think he could probably get double-digit strikeouts here, honestly.
I love it. Solid pick. My pick is the big bopper. I'm going for the Gusto today, and it's a pretty big number, but I like Juan Soto over fantasy score 8.5. I know that's a little high, but I just, a couple extra base hits, and he'll get that taken care of pretty quick.
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to point something out with that too. Yeah. Because I've had people ask me this about Prize Picks. So Prize Picks they use for their scoring system, they say that it's not FanDuel for their pitching, but it basically is.
Right.
So they use that scoring for their pitching, and then for their hits, they use for their bats, they use DraftKings scoring. Wow. So you want to make sure that you got that right, because you'll have a guy that'll hit like a 6.8 on FanDuel or whatever, and then on DraftKings he'll be at 5, and people will be like, well, how come he didn't go over? It's because they use DraftKings scoring for their batters. So
yeah, that is interesting how they do that, and they split between the two so they can claim they're not just using one site, I guess.
They say, when I asked them, because I had the under on Patrick Corbin yesterday, and they were showing him at 28, and I was like, that's not right, because I did the math. I used your scoring system, and they're like, we use a different scoring system or whatever. And then they came back and said you were right. But they don't use – they say they use their own scoring system, but it seems to me like it's FanDuel for pitching and DraftKings for bats. But anyway, that's just something I wanted to point out.
Yeah, no, I think that's a very good point. I do have a pitcher prize picks play that I'd like to throw in the mix too.
Okay.
And this is one that's going to surprise you, and it's going to be a little bit of a dog pick here, but I'm going with it. I'm going to go with Yanoa under 14.5 pitching outs versus the Dodgers.
The Dodgers, yeah.
I like it. I just think they get to him. I guess it'll be – I don't know if it'll be popular, but, Yanoa got a lot of attention last year, deservedly so at times. He really turned it on, but just that Dodgers lineup is murderer's row,
Yeah, they're tough. They're real tough.
Yep.
And now they have Freddie Freeman.
All right, my favorite, BVP. What do you got?
This one here, the numbers are pretty staggering. So it's going to be Jared Walsh. He's 3,200 on FanDuel, 4,300 on DK. 636 was 7 hits and 11 at bats against Luis Garcia. 3 singles, 2 doubles, and 2 home runs. It's some of the best BVP I've seen all year. 7 hits and 11 at bats. I mean, that's really getting it done.
Yeah, and that's a hard one. That's so hard to ignore that one. There's no question. Yeah. I love it, man. That's a good one. Way to bring that up. He should be highly owned just based on that. I mean,
he should be, but I don't know if he will, because I think people are going to go away from the Angels with Mike Trout out of the lineup.
They probably will. Plus, people don't like BVP, and I argue it every day on here and defend it. But hey, I'm telling you, it's real. So go for it. All right, what most people think is the most important thing in MLB DFS stacks.
Yeah, so with all of the pay-up options at pitcher today, there's quite a few. I feel like we need a value stack to make our lineup construction work. So my top value stack is going to be the Oakland A's. They have surprisingly scored the most runs this year. And after a tough matchup yesterday against Alek Manoah, they go up against Spencer Watkins of the Baltimore Orioles. He allowed 4 runs in only 3 innings against the Brewers last week. So I like Seth Brown, Elvis Andrus, Sean Murphy, Jed Lowry, and Chad Pinder. Not big names, obviously, but if you look at their production, they're all producing. So they're all below 3K on FanDuel, and they're below 4K on DK. So it's going to allow us to stack them with Kershaw and some of the other top pay-up bats if we want to.
Very nice. And I'm going to spend the dough today. Dodgers stack for me all the way. I think they get to them and get to them good.
My other top stack for GPPs is going to be the San Diego Padres. They're going up against Nick Lodolo, who we've stacked last week, Cleveland against him. And so I like Manny Machado, of course, Eric Hosmer, Jurickson Profar, and Austin Nola, the righties, basically, for San Diego.
Yeah, and they're due, too, to have a big bust out.
Yeah, they had that big game, and we talked about that, too. They had that big game, and then their offense went cold. But, yeah, I like them a lot tonight.
Bounce back game. I agree. All right, HR call. What do you got?
If the game plays, I'm going to go with Brandon Belt. He's 3,700 on FanDuel, 5,100 on DK. He has 3 hits and 5 at-bats against Tyler McGill with 2 home runs. But it's probably going to get rained out. So I'm just going to go with my VVP play with Jared Walsh.
Jared Walsh. And I like Freddie Freeman today.
Okay.
Line drive homer. Whack.
That would be his first one, right? With the Dodgers. I don't think he's hit one with the Dodgers yet, right?
No, I think today's the day. Today is the day.
He's due.
He's broken it. He's just, he gets hot in bunches. That's how Freddie does it.
And Noah is definitely prone to give up the long ball. So
yes.
Yeah.
He has a pretty flat fastball, and we'll see how that rolls. But no doubt. All right. What else you got? Anything else baseball-wise?
The other stack, I mean, I guess I could go ahead and throw that out there, was going to be the Angels. Like I mentioned, I think with Trout out of their lineup, a lot of people are going to go away from them, but I'm not. Ohtani, Brandon Marsh, Jared Walsh, and then for the righties, I like Taylor Ward and Joe Adell. So primarily the lefties with maybe a righty would be my stack with the Angels. Very
nice. Excellent. If you guys are watching now and gals, hit that thumbs up on YouTube. We really, really appreciate that. That means a lot to us as we move up the algorithm with these daily podcasts. And just a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and that little alarm in the upper corner. That will let you know when any of our podcasts post. We have multiple podcasts posting every day, and we're going over prize picks in the majority of them if you're looking for those prop plays. And we're doing that in baseball, basketball, golf, all kinds of action going on right now. Also, if you're listening to us on any of our audio podcast landing spots, a quick thumbs up and 5 stars will get you in a drawing at the end of each month for a full access free week of DFS Coach Talk. Once again, thank you to Prize Picks, our sponsor, prizepicks.com. Promo code Coach Talk, you get dollar for dollar up to $100. And if you want to join us and get all of the inside information on our Discord with all our members, when you join, you get everything we have. We don't go sport by sport. You get it all. DFSCoachTalk.com. All right, Crash, thank you very much. Hope you had a great weekend in Easter for you, your family, and then all of our listeners as well. Starting out a really intense week as we're right in the heart of the NBA playoffs. Baseball's surely now heating up. We're getting an idea of what teams have. And then a couple of good golf tournaments coming up this month as well. So thank you so much for listening in. We hope you have an absolutely terrific Monday. And we're certainly going to be back again tomorrow when we look to crush it in DFS and Prize Picks.